on the Sifra Tziliyoto, and we're on page Tuf Kuf Tzadi Zion at the bottom on the right column. Now we had been through the concepts in the Yehima Oros Barakia Shemayim. As you go through that, and then it says after Barakia Shemayim down at the bottom, number Gimel, it says Shalit Dochar V'Nukva. So in story, you see that the Ma'oros are Choser. Then we have a question of what does it mean by Barakia Shemayim. You also think it's Yisod, and now we're down Shalit. This causes the Shlita of the Dochar over the Nuk. Rei Bibira Meshula V'Hein Lefi Arizal V'Hein Lefi Grua. Apparently they're going the same direction. It is Boyer Inyan Shalit Dochar V'Nuk, where it talks about the Shlita of the Dochar of the Nuk. And he says, explains, the Kevin Shechan Nukva, Tzricha L'Kabel as Orasachu Min Zer Anpin Bailo, Shahare Zer Anpin Kabel Min Abba Ve'ima, Hena Chasadim and Gavuros, it receives them from the right, left, it comes and pulls into the middle, Va'achakach, Noisin Zer Anpin, Gavuros, the Nukva, the Nimsish Zer Anpin Shola D'Lecha, so therefore he's in charge of whatever it is that she is able to get. 1 second. Okay, going on. Now we go to the next one, Babir Amashul the Fia Rizal. This Boyer Odza goes on and says, furthermore, Al Pi Maris Ruk U Pirish Al Talmud. So what is this? Kishor Shlitas Zer Anpin Al Hanukva, whom Mitzad Yisod Zer Anpin, Hanikru Kiach Hashemayim Kanal. So he wants to say the Yisod, okay, that's what we've been mostly feel that's what it's saying. It wants to say that the nukva is attached to the yisod of zer anpin, but the feilulo, and she's really needs zer anpin in order to exist. I don't know. She's subjugated by him. Ayin sham. So we'll get to that later on. He says be'inyan b'tzadik yisod olam ayin sham. We're going to get to that soon. Number Gimel says b'hadras melech. Over in the hadras melech it says. Bir kan b'zel d'shonu shalit dokav nukva ke'en b'shas hazivu, because at the time of the yichud chasad, so he said ki oz, I'm sorry, oz b'shas hazivu the chasadim shal zacha goivrim al gavuras nukva. In other words, they're able to tame the gavuras and the nukva. Ad kan, moving on. Number Daud, Rei b'zohar chai over there shabir b'zel d'shonu shalit dokav nuk. Kli, and he makes her into a kli b'bia rishona with their first bia. L'mashbia b'gavuros be'ez hazivug, and they pour gavuros into her at the time of the yichud. Adkan, he said what? He said v'osa kli umashbia b'gavuros be'ez hazivug adkan. I'm not sure what that meant. He said Shalit Dochav Nukva means he pours Gvuros into her at the time of the Yichud. I've always thought it's pouring Chasadim in. And going on, Vigir says a Ramak, Bir Yakar, in the Bir Yakar, he says a Shalit Dochav Nukva, v'lo b'kagir the lawn is not like our regular Gidder, Shalit Dochav Nukva. So he said v'lo kagir the lawn. So what does he say? He said the gears is a remakir or yakir who can shalit docher va nukva, or not ba nukva. He says it should be va nukva and the nukva. So what does that mean? Kavar chuva biuro le'el. So apparently he says we've already explained this. And what does it mean? The b'shas hamtakas adenim, when you sweeten the denim, ayadecha yisod the chur shalet is zer v'nuk. This causes a shlita of both the male and the female yachad ayin sham, because it brings about a complete and total yichud. The Messiah ba'or yakar, there he concludes over there sham v'zel d'shono v'ata desakta b'nisbas b'chadinechu. Now her dinim are sweetened and set in place. V'nimsa shnechem sholtim, so therefore now they're together. V'chadin nimtak, and the din is now nintak. So he wants to say that the two are it's really a little bit hard, but if you take it out of the context that they make a oneness, V'ha'olam misnake b'tzedek b'mishpat. It's in both tzedek, which is malchus, and mishpat. Mikevach machon kisech shnechem yachad. So they're now in one. They're one. V'zecher she'amba shalu dacha v'nukva v'nukva. That's the shlit of them. Ad kan ayin sham v'rei le'el shehu v'od midamolam. All right, we'll wait for coming back here and move to get refocused. Okay, let's see, back on the speaker, and here we go again. Now, we're at the bottom now where it says v'tzadik. Let's see if I can get this up there right. So it says v'tzadik yisad olam. Now we understand, what does that mean? We understand that tzadik means yisod. That's what it usually means. And it said, as we go on into this, Sifra d'tzniut sham dechsev v'tzadik yisad olam. So he said, "V'rei b'bir ha'meshul the Fir Rizal, shenizbar b'shem Hadras Melech, sheyisod zer anpen miyased es hanukva hanikras olam ein sham." Now we heard that previously. V'hu v'sham od b'shem Ari Sarok. Then we get into this. Shabir dahainu shahanukva devuka tamed b'yisod zer anpen ein sham. Now it makes it sound that she never becomes separate from him. That she says she's always davuk to zer anpen. But his Moyer Sham, let me get over here and move some stuff out of the way. Over here, and we'll see what the top says. We'll come back to this an arichos on number Hey down below. We'll get to that. Od al pi divir harizach bekama bekomos. Shanukva neshrashes b'techidas atzilusa. So she is rooted, and the question is, what does he mean by rooted? But previously he used the word attached. So the tzilusa betaras yisod is their anpin besod keser de nukva, which is the place of the crown of the nukva. Gam achakach. So now she's built into a part of a parts of nishar shorish hanukva davak besod ataras yisod. So she's still there. Just his words are still nishar shorish hanukva. The root of the nukva is still davak besod ataras yisod, which is the secret of the tip. I guess he means the crown of the yisod, the top, or the end of it. So therefore, because of this, shehuzer anpin ala nukva. So she's always attached to the yisod, but apparently we just want to say she's built into a parsif, and her root is still there. So he says. Raya Mapasa B'Tzadik Yisad Oilam La'ayin Le'inyan Shalit Dakar V'Nukva, which is that Inyan there. Now we're going to look at number Hey today. See how far we get with this. And we're going to go down to number Hey on the previous page, down to bottom, and let's see if I could get it so I can read it. So it says, number Hey, Lachavanas Shitas Bari Saruk Sham. Now we're back into the Saruk again. He says, Na'atik kan l'shonu biyosa harchovo, v'zel l'shonu b'delog. Amalo HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So the Kodesh Baruch said to her, L'chi ma'atet atzmech. Go make yourself smaller. So that smallness, I guess, is down at the bottom of the Yisod Zeranpin. Kolomar, Tachzor L'sod Nakuda. Go back and become a dot. V'tikala B'sod Tipa Zeranpin V'tihiyat Feilolo. So originally, apparently, the Nukva is the same size or the same equivalent to Zeranpin, and now she has to become an aspect of his Yisod. V'tikala B'sod Tipa, and then here's a new word. She becomes then a drop. Tipa, I guess, means drop. Where it means other places, she becomes like V'tikala B'sod Tipa im Zer Anpin. Now, so what that Tipa means is a question. V'tihiyat Tefelo, though, and as a result of that, she's going to be subjugated by him, Shehu zer anpin yihya shalit alayach. So you're going to be shalit over you. You need him in order to grow. The Zechad Ksiv Ma'oros Chaser Vav, and that's that idea. We're running over this a little bit. We do introduce, though, the concept of this tipa. So he says, Ma'oros Chaser Vav, Shehu Lashon Me'eretz, Lashon Chisaron V'Klala, so it's something bad. El Milas Ma'oros, Romes Al Nukva Shenifrad Mimanu Havav, where she's separated from the Vav. Shehu Zer Anpin, which is Zer Anpin. Ad Zer Anpin Nikra L'Archa Shemesh, until, relatively speaking, he's called the Shemesh. V'hi Nikras Yereach, and she's called the Rak Nereach. So he's the sun, and she's just the recipient, which is the moon. Then you have this phrase, Rikiyah Shemayim. V'kavana Nukva Haner Mezes Bemilas Ma'oros Nidvukal Aser Sheniskalada Berikiyah Shemayim. She's clinging to the place that's Sheniskalada, La'acha Sheniskalada, after she's cursed, Berikiyah Shemayim. Now he's calling it a curse here. The Hindach of Achra Yisod the Zer Anpin, that it has to be around the back of Zer Anpin, so deepa in that secret of it's a drop. She milas Rikia who mora al sod al Yisod, because the word Rikiyas are going back to what we mostly agree, is that it refers to the Sod Kamosha Amber Rabitikunim. He says over there, what's it say? V'Hapazak Atmo, B'Farish V'Azel, Ma'in Hamiyud V'Haklala Sheniskala. The Rabbi Malchus over there explains that, I guess, and wants to say this. Hainu the Arech Lahoyer al Haaretz, that is, that the to shine on the land. I mean, in other words, Zer Anpin has to shine into the Nukva. Kolomer Zer Anpin Yar the Malchus behind the Nukve, so he shines into his female aspect. Hanikras Eretz, which also has the word Eretz, this is what it's like after she's no longer independent, but she's really attached to him. Delis la megrama klum, because now she has mentioned this mayat atzmech, that she doesn't have anything else. She's gone. She has no. I guess she has no energy inside of her. Behavior Sifra Tzniuta is what we're talking about. He says, brings this idea out. He says, the Devarosh Nukva Devuka B'Yisod Shazer Anpin Dersev B'Tzadik Yisod Olam. So he says that the Tzadik is the Yisod of Olam. Now, what is it about? Shepirushuhu Shed Tzadik Shuhu Yisod Kenoida. That's a sad. Sham Yesh Olam, and that place, he says, Yasadik Yisod Olam. That's the same place where you find the Olam, which is the Nukva. Hainu Malchus Shenikras Olam Kenoida. She's called the Olam. So he says, Adkan. The Indian Tipa is boyer od v'divir marisarok. Now, this word tipa is kind of, a tipa. What I think of a drop is something wet, something not solid. So here's he calling about. So in this boyer od v'divir marisarok, he said lahalon. The Fidarko, he says what? Because she besod nakuda, when she's like the secret of the nakuda, that she's been accused, or she's been claimed to claim against her. Zer anpin v'niknasach besoch yisod erik anpin. Now let me read this again. He said, well, trying to explain to us what this concept of the tipa is. And I'll read again. Okay, we'll take a little break. A message from our sponsor, Hashem Yisbarach. Should be to be understand this Torah and get closer and closer to Him, who is everywhere, and we are attaching. Okay, here he says, Gashi besod nekuda. After she's been, I guess, after the complaint, so this is something else. So that after the complaint, Zer Anpin goes into the Yisod of Zer Anpin. This is an aliyah of Zer Anpin. V'sham Na'asar b'sod tipa, and at that place in Zer Anpin, he becomes the secret of the drop. Berik Anpin Pashat Yado, so this whole thing could use some explanation. Erik Anpin then extends his hand, the Kabbalah Tipa, and receives the Tipa. So in other words, it goes in a very deep place. Zu Tipa, Zu V'nasan Osach La'aba Derek Mocho, and then after that, receiving this aliyah that takes place in Zer Anpin to the Yisod of Erik Anpin, then it gets deposited in the derech through the moach, through the head of Abba. And Bisham Yarda Tipa ad Netza Hod Yisod Hod Shel Yisod. Then it goes down. It's now in the Yisod, and it goes down to the bottom of the Yisod. It goes to the Netza and Hod Shel Yisod Shel Abba ad Kan, and then you can see the rest of it's going to go into the Nukva. You're going to have a Zer Anpin the Nuk, but still a lot missing in there about how that hismatus of the nukva had to do with that little statement there, which if a Zer Anpin goes up to the yisod of Erik Anpin. I'm assuming that the Nakuda is along with him. Let's see a little bit more. So we didn't see this. Where do we see this? That it goes back into Kitra Halavana. That is, when does Zer Anpin return back? It go back because of the Kitra of Malchus. Now, exactly how does this work out? Mihu Shafer Metzina B'Divra Rizal, but we find in other places Ini Chazaras Anukva Besod Nakuda Tachas Achre Yisod, behind, underneath the backside of the Yisod. Okay, so one more time, he says Mihu Shafer Metzina B'Divra Rizal Ini Chazaras Anukva Besod Nakuda Tachas Achre Yisod. Now, there's going to be something in here that I want to go over. That's why I said this again, because he said again that she's going around under the backside of the tip of the Yisod of Zer Anpin. And so look at the Isba Eitz Chaim. So we have the Zalushona is going to quote the Eitz Chaim, Badilog. He says, where is this? This is Shar Lamed Vav. Because Shechah B'Nivracha Olam Shal Etzilu V'Nol the Zun. So now you have an Etzilus, and Zun is out. That's the Vav and K of Etzilus. His Skilu, his Gadol, ad yom dalad levav yemei bereishis. So she begins at that point. Let me get it. As the world is created, through the first 4 days of creation, she's starting to grow. So he said ad shetihya bechinas parts of gamor biyud spheres, until she actually grows to a position where she's 10 spheros high. Ba'aser ba'achre hachozeb. Where is that place? That place is behind the chest of Zer Anpin. So this is like a template situation where she has grown up to be the position behind the chozeb. And as she makes this complaint, min shir hanal, then she becomes minimized from this size. And only all that remains from her is her malchus. So all the malchus has 10 spheres, shehi nekuda, which is a drop, which is a dot. Now, is the difference between a dot and a drop? Anyway, so he says it's a nekuda. Nukuda achas kalula miyud tachas achrecha yisod shazer anpin. So she's originally grows up to be the chazet at the chazet zer anpin, which is similar to the. I was thinking the concept is similar to what in astrology they call the chart of Adam Arishon, which is really a template that's in the background of all of the zodiac. So the acha kalula miyud tachas achre yisod shazer anpin v'zehu inyan dechi uma'atet atzmech. So this is the concept of limiting yourself down. Because now she's become a nakuda, but it's part of a process that's taking place through the first. I think he said the first 4 days of Bereshis. Okay, so I'm going to make a note here where we're going to stop right here, and this is going to be, I think today is what, 5th of Tamuz? We'll find out later. 83. Okay. Okay, so I finished that out, and now we're going to go over to the Shar Kavanos. And, oh, well, I just did this wrong.